You know, I've been born and raised in the Fox Valley my entire life. I'm just a kid from Menasha, attended school there, attended college down at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, and I'm a third-generation home builder. I've been working in this area, building houses with my father for my entire life, and that gives me really the small business experience that I think is necessary when you're down in the legislature, because I understand how government can help and hurt business, and I take that experience down to Madison and use it each and every day. Secondly, I'm a member of the Wisconsin Air National Guard. I've been serving in the 115th Fighter Wing for the last 15 years, and nowhere in my schooling have I received more training on leadership than through the military in the schools that they have put me through. And I take that leadership down to Madison, that experience down to Madison, and use that building coalitions to be that independent voice, working with Republicans and Democrats to pass legislation to move our state forward. And then lastly, I've been in the state Senate now for the last 4 years. In the last 2 years, I've been elected unanimously by every Republican and Democrat senator in the state Senate to serve as the presiding officer, the Senate president. And I think that's because they look at me as someone who will seek to implement the rules in an unbiased way, and also someone who's got an independent voice, not afraid to take on even those in his own party. And it's that kind of experience that I've had through my life and in the legislature right now that I think uniquely qualifies me to go down to Madison and be that independent voice for the Fox Valley. And I certainly appreciate the consideration of everyone watching this program right now and ask for their vote here on November 6th.
Always the favorite question, right? Well, I think that people in my district are really hungry for somebody who relates to the struggles that they're all experiencing. I think right now you're seeing a lot of non-traditional candidates, which I'm certainly one of them. And in that sense, I mean, I'm not somebody who has held public office before. My opponent has been in the Assembly, he had a run for Congress, and then he sat in the Senate, and he does come from a political family. So that gives him a different perspective and experience than I have. I'm somebody who's been very immersed in her community for years. I've been a leader with the Girl Scouts and in a number of nonprofit sectors as I've made my way for the last 24 years in the Fox Valley. I'm also somebody who worked in the paper industry. That's where I started out. So I also understand some of the business struggles and the manufacturing changes and shifts in the area. But I think ultimately what people are looking for is somebody who's going to tell it to them straight, who's going to be honest, who you're going to know where they stand, and who is not going to play into partisan games that we've seen so much. The current legislation, a lot of really good bills with bipartisan support did not get passed because they wanted to have a win in their column. And I think if you have enough Democrats agreeing on something and enough Republicans agreeing on something, that regardless who's in leadership, you should take it to the floor and get those things passed and do a lot of good for Wisconsinites. So I'm committed to doing that, and I like to say that if somebody's looking for an honest politician, I'm quite literally a professional Girl Scout, and you're not going to get much more honest than a Girl Scout.